This is a snow that has lain dormant for 20 years. The broken bike lurched about. The land was overgrown with leaves and weeds. A large group of monkeys scattered at the sight of people. It must have been 20 years ago. Escaped from a university lab. The two at the bioscience building. I saw the mark of a firefly. Hurry over, only to see a small fortification with sandbags at the door, but there were no guards to watch. This is not good news. The two men dismounted and walked into the building with their guns ready. The place is littered with scattered papers. Traces of the medical past remain, but those who commit adultery by fire are no more. Did the place get breached by zombies? There was a sudden noise upstairs. Two people carefully up to check. Only a few monkeys were seen laughing and running away. They saw the map the Firehawk had left behind. It says where they're going. Suddenly they heard a noise outside. Old Joe looked out of the window and saw someone. Those men are armed with cold weapons and clearly have no good intentions. People are worse than zombies at the end of time. They had to run away. They left the building by the back door and crept up to the horse. Just about to mount. Joe! An enemy suddenly attacked from behind. Old Joe fought him at once. 10 seconds later, he snapped the man's neck, but he also had a sharp instrument thrust into his side. Old Joe pulled out his sharps, tried the last strength on the horse, and Ellie away together. Go! Get back! But less than half an hour, he passed out from the loss of blood. Ellie anxious tears DC. But I kissed him anyway. Took Old Joe to an abandoned house. Old Joe told him to ride back before he passed out, but Ollie never gave up. He rummaged about in abandoned houses for useful medicine. The food has long since been wiped clean. He only found a needle and thread. Came back and stitched up Old Joe's wound. Stopped the bleeding. Old Joe soon fell into a deep coma. Even the water is not enough. If the wound continues to get infected, he is certain to die. Ellie had to fight back her tears. Grab a gun and go hunting first. Old Joe had taught him how to shoot before and he was good at it. I hit a deer without a hitch, but wait till he catches up. He found two strangers near his prey. He immediately threatened them with a gun to put it down and get out. But he's only 14. Again, force out of the ruthless state, also exposed timidity. How can they not see it? The man who spoke described himself as a priest. He is also a village head. His villagers have been hungry for a long time. He offered to trade the goods to Ollie for venison. In order to save the Old Joe, Ellie let the village head left as a hostage. Send the other guy back for the antibiotics. The village chief immediately ordered his men to do so. After the men leave, he offered to build a fire and drag the dead road to a nearby house. All the while he kept talking to Ollie. His voice was gentle and kind, seemed curious and appreciative of him. Look at Alifong's very strong vest. Superficial kindness did not persuade her at all. He changed his strategy. Recently, she said, one of her villagers went out to collect rubbish, killed by a couple of women. You must be the daughter. Ollie was too scared to know what to do. Look back. The other man who rushed back had a gun pointed at her. This guy wanted to kill Ollie to get revenge, but somehow the village chief stopped her. He told his partner to give Ollie the antibiotics and let her go. Ollie has no choice but to run away. He went back to Old Joe and gave him antibiotics, but the next morning, he saw a gang of gunmen in the village. The leader is the village chief. Obviously, he's here to catch them. Ellie ran back to Old Joe to wake him up to tell the danger. He was given a knife. He went out with his gun and horse. He wanted to distract the assailants.
Hey, motherfuckers!
But they were both experienced hunters. Ali's horse was shot dead. He too fell hard to the ground and fainted. The village chief stopped his men from killing Ali. He's keeping 3 of his men here, go from house to house looking for Old Joe to kill. And he took Ali back in his arms. The 3 knew that Old Joe was badly wounded. Just split up and searched for one of them. Soon they found the basement where Old Joe was. He crept down only to find an empty bed with blood. Old Joe suddenly appeared in the dark. One stab into his carotid artery. Old Joe was full of adrenaline under the strain. He did the same for the last 2 enemies, knocked them out without even firing a shot. He held onto his sick body and used deformity on them. He killed them in cold blood when he found out where Ollie was. Ollie wakes up in a cage on the other side. The village chief is just outside the cage. Tried to persuade him to obey him. He has no idea what he wants. Even a fool could see he was up to no good. The head of the village saw that he would not move and went out to get him food. When he left, Ollie looked everywhere for an escape, till he saw something most horrible. Then the village chief came back.